Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. In the last parts, we finished up the 6.2 MSQ. We took down Archfiends, we've taken down 2 of the 4 Archfiends, and I guess Goldbud doesn't really care. We are now gonna do the new raid set from Pandæmonium. So, let us see what's going on. Image. Cecilla, I made a breakthrough. After uncountable days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers, and I must say, Professor Claudian, I worry your manners. While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. Yes, of course. My apologies, Cecilla. Being consumed by my research for so long, I'm afraid I've quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversation. Yeah, you do that. In that case, perhaps we should start from the beginning. With the crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides and contain the memories of a party yet unknown, they cried out for deliverance from Pandæmonium, where the ancients kept volatile creations under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devoured in the facility from within, and the advent of a divine monstrosity, a mythical beast and powerful mage. Fortunately, your martial prowess and the combined magical talents of your companions, Themis and... I'm going to call you Eric, are sufficient to restore order to the circles of Asphodelos, but the greater threat remains. In the depths of Pandæmonium, a presence yet stirs, and its intentions and identity is shrouded in mystery. That is the issue at hand, is it not? Yep. Since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detected an anomalous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memory stored within. Analysis of this pattern suggests a feeling of loss or yearning, specifically the yearning to be made whole. And indeed, ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. This can only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. By tracing the matching etheric signature to its source, I believe it'll be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Professor, will this expedition be carried out only by us, or will Cecilla grace us with her protection? I'm afraid she has more pressing matters to attend to, my dear Russ. I'm going to call you Russ. Namely, to seek out the secrets which lie nestled within Pandæmonium, where this all began. From all that we have heard, it appears that the time traversal from the Crystal Tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can but travel in predetermined intervals. It would be prudent to check in on occasion in case there are any unanticipated changes. As for you, my lowly assistants, I would ask you to remain here and continue cataloging the ancient creations. You can't mean... Do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Why, yes, that would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I have already commissioned the ship and a pilot for that very purpose. I trust you take good care of the laboratory in my absence. Okay, there it goes. Huh. I apologize for that somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudia tends to become blind to all else. Indeed, and he has been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he would spare a thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems loath to be overheard. Much as it spoke only to you last time, none but the professor has been able to capture its ethereal yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely, after some time alone, he'll come to remember how valuable we are. The search for this crystal seemed to be simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure, and upon his return, I'm certain he'll be back to his usual self. As for you, Cecilla, it may be best to return to Pandæmonium, as Professor Claudian suggested. Speaking of which, I did have a request of my own to make. Traveling to Pandæmonium requires you to pass through Elpis, correct? There's something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creations confined within Pandemonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Elpis before being consigned to the shackles. And if we know anything about the ancients, it's that they would have kept thorough records of the results. Ah, brilliant. Delving into these records may shed light on creatures Cecil has yet to encounter. If your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, I certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly with our own strength to carry the day. For your own sake as well as ours, please unearth what information you can. Sure. I'm going there anyway. Alright. Back to Elpis we go, but we gotta go to the fucking, I don't know where, I don't remember where the closest one. I'm just gonna go here. I don't remember where the closest Ethernet is. Ether crystal. Oh boy. Oh, it's over there. Okay. No! Wrong one! Fuck! Just playing hot potato with the teleports now. I'm gonna leave the image out because no one's talking right now. Oops. Hello, you two. You seek records of Pandemonium's creations? Master Themis was just finishing perusing the very same. I should not be surprised that we both arrived at the same conclusion. Luckily, I have saved you the trouble and gleaned what information I could. So you know each other. I was dreading having to go once again scour the archives, but instead I'll rest a spell for a spell. If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave. Who the fuck has the fucking motorcycle out? As should we, for I have undone the warding sigil blocking the entrance to Abyssos. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Fortunately, while Pandemonium's protective wards continue to be assailed by our unknown foe, there have been no fluctuations so great to make me doubt Eric's capacity to keep watch over Asphodelos while I'm away. He works diligently to master internment, that he might deliver the creations back to their cages by his own hand. I thought it best to give him the time to hone his craft. And since fate has brought us to both here, I will ask you to accompany me while I attend to another matter. More idle suspicions I would like to chase down. Rest assured, it shall not take long. I simply have a few questions to ask an acquaintance of mine. Come, he has agreed to meet us near the noose to Pandemonium. The noose? New? I don't know. Where am I going? Way the fuck over there. Great! I guess it's close that we just go back here. God, I haven't been to Elpis since the last raid set came out. I've not set foot in here since then. All right. I shot it. There we go. As I ponder our expedition to Pandemonium, I could not help but be mystified by how strongly the waters being encountered felt for La Habrea, whether it be good or ill. Hesperos and Eric were two sides of the same coin. The former looked to his mentor with absolute devotion, while the latter looks to his father with bald hatred. I'll not expect a familiar such as you to understand this, but such extreme emotions toward a single individual are quite rare indeed. Naturally, I feel gratitude toward my mother and father, yet we are all equals in the larger picture of the star. The view is not unique to myself. It is more or less accepted as a way of things. By contrast, the researchers of Pandæmonium seem to view La Habrea with a feeling of approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they all have been drawn to him. There are many other aspects of the facility's particulars I found troubling besides. I decided the best course of action would be to go straight to the source and pose my questions to a member of the words of La Habrea. Hello. It's been ages since I've seen you. Oh, wait, no. You're not the guy I'm thinking about. My apologies that I kept you waiting, Master Themis. I understand you are conducting an investigation of Pandæmonium and wish to know of its origins. Indeed. In particular, I wish to know why exactly Pandæmonium was built directly under Elpis. The facility is overseen by the words of La Habrea, after all. Why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? At first, I thought it would be simply a matter of convenience. Those creations which were deemed failures by the researchers of Elpis could easily be ushered into the new homes. Imagine my surprise when a trip to the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organizations beyond Elpis, including from the words of La Habrea themselves. Given this, albeit limited information, I cannot but feel the Academia, a Niter, would have been more fitting locale. What does Elpis have that cannot be found there? These are fitting questions, and ones we have asked ourselves many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of Pandæmonium's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When first it was built, circumstances weren't as they are now. As you surmise, the majority of the creations kept within Pandæmonium were sent from Elpis. Yet, as the years passed, interests changed. Failures and creations deemed too flawed even to submit to Elpis paradoxically drew the attention of Pandæmonium's researchers. Great. That is quite the change, and in fact, it almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that decides which creations will be subject to research? Master La Habrea. Such authority is reserved for the chief of Key Ward, and he has taken it upon himself to step into that role. So, if Pandæmonium's resources were being misused, it would be under La Habrea's authority, correct? I don't know what you're suggesting, but the Key Wards also hold some sway within the facility. Not only Master La Habrea would be free from their scrutiny. They are duty-bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible. Although I admit, as of late, their communication has been somewhat sporadic, we but recently received a report from one of the Key Wards stating that all is well within the Pandæmonium's halls. Really? And are you certain that a Key Ward sent it? Yes, of course. Our communication suffered a temporary obstruction, but I can assure you that the words did their due diligence and confirm the identity of the sender. Thank you. This information will be helpful in my investigation. That'll be all for my prying. Now I shall take my leave. While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate and will be remiss to disturb them for longer than is necessary. Great. All sounds very complicated. All is well. A blatant lie, and to that we can both attest. One of the remaining keywords is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our advisory sent that report, but 'tis plain that we must return to Pandæmonium with haste. Was it? Wait. Was that adversary? My bad. Not advisory. Adversary. Adversary. What the fuck? Alright. Forgot about this place. I cannot guess why this false report was arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill, as does the knowledge that our mysterious mastermind has at least one more keyword to puppet. Regardless, they have tipped their hand, and we would be remiss to leave Eric at the mercy of their machinations. Let us hope no harm has befallen him. Well, let's go find out. This place is as welcoming as ever. Not quite. I've traced these sigils countless times, yet still I lack the strength to maintain the spell. And now time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own ineptitude. What? Who goes there? Uh-oh. This is something not to be admired in such single-minded effort. Even if your efforts leave much to be desired. You allow this familiar to catch you unawares. If you set your sights so high as to forget you walk upon the earth. I know this creature, a familiar of the Phoenix, but that monster is locked away. That it is. In spite of the trouble went to freeing it, I might add. Begrudge me for addressing you in this ill-fitting form if you must, but with control of Asphodelos wrested from my grasp, 'tis simply the best effort I can offer you. Hide if you will, but mark my words, I will find you and make you pay for the chaos you've sown. Now, there's no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course. The wisdom of La Habrea, your father. And how would you know what wisdom he speaks? I have heard those words many times. The scolding of a tutor whose students struggled to grasp the most rudimentary lessons, seething with disgust. No. I have not told that to anyone. Not even keyword Hesperos. That could only mean one thing. That you still insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, La Habrea! At last, you moved to keep up. Pity that you remain behind, nevertheless. Uh-oh. What? As ever you are. Always you fail to learn, fail to understand, fail to act. And though fate deigned to offer an escape, you remain here. You are bereft of magical prowess and common sense both. But you need not despair, though you may be, or indispensable to Pandemonium's great experiment. There's the affection I remember. Tell me, that ever once measured up to your expectations? You shall. Take pride in that and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What? What wish? Come and all shall be revealed. All this rage, this hatred, is but a consequence of ignorance. Our desires align more than you know. What are you? Uninvited guests join our reunion. Seems fortune no longer favors you. Do you think I have any interest in listening to your prattle, let alone bowing to your will? I'm no longer a child, and my faith lies with those who have earned it. So these are the heroes who brought Hesperos low, even as power divine flowed through his veins. 'Tis planet there are worthier subjects to contend with. Ugh. Well, how bright strikes again. Hey man, you alright? Thank you. If you'd shown up and even a moment later, I shudder to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There is but one person who can hold thrall over familiar, creation, and keyboard alike. It's your father! And so there can be no one but one conclusion. La Habrea was the driving force behind this chaos from the start. There is logic to that. There are few with the wherewithal to even consider its experimentation on such a scale, let alone the capacity to create demigods from man and beast, with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitude of his work with the convocation and the words, his relatively minor role as chief keyword comes under a little scrutiny, even as it provides him the authority to wield dangerous magics. It may serve as a veil and mantle both. Still, I find the notion hard to accept. The misdeeds perpetrated here could not have been done by the La Habrea I know. You have met him, yes? Do you think he's capable of this? Absolutely. Well, at least the Ascian would. La Habrea is capable of far more than you know. Is he? So you believe La Habrea to be a man of a few scruples if it brings his goal closer to reach. That alone should be enough, but let me reassure you, La Habrea holds nothing as dear as his own ambition. While he may not be one to let emotions stand in the way of his mission, I cannot believe there are no depths to which he would not stoop. Although we met but briefly, the impression he left on me stands in stark contrast to your evaluation. Though his methods are ever unorthodox, they seem guided by a firm understanding of what is just. There's only one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandemonium and pull back the curtain on this mystery of ourselves. A wise course. I would not deny the truth if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomfiting as to behold. Then we must move forward with no excess of caution. La Habrea, or whomever is behind this, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandemonium. We can safely assume that other keywords won't greet us with open arms. Agreed. Let us make our way through Abyssos in one careful step at a time. I shall stay by Eric's side in case our enemies think to target him again. Could I trouble you to take the vanguard? Sure. Thank you. As a precaution, I shall safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that even should we become separated, my phantom warriors will still come to your aid. If it does come to battle, the keyword's magics will put us at a disadvantage once again. Luckily, we have you to even the scales somewhat. I trust you shall be liberal with your weight. Meaning, all the hard work goes to me, like usual. The fifth circle. All right, let's do this. Oh, now we just gotta wait. Shouldn't be too bad, right? In theory. Man, I could always go in tank. Tank kills are pretty fucking instant. But that kind of defeats the purpose of sticking to white mage. Plus, it's just this gives me a bit of time to figure out if I think I kept all these in one video, didn't I? Or did I break them up last time? I don't remember. I have to look up in YouTube real fast. This gives me the perfect time to look. I think I broke them up. I think I did break them up, like one raid set at a time per video. Nope. Well, there's the queue. Guess my search through this long, nearly 300 video playlist is kind of came to an end. Okay, no, yeah, I had them all in one video last time. Check this place out. Proto Carbuncle, what have they done to you? All right. This will be interesting. Got kind of a small stadium. I mean, it seems an obscenely big cage for someone small as him. Gonna follow the crowd like usual. So those are here. Oh, the cage is melting. Oh boy. He's an angry boy. Expands. All right. Oh, I see. He's gonna jump to those areas. Right? Yep. He ate me! Well, that was just rude. How do you survive that? Oh no! I died! Fuck. Get me out of that. I'm not gonna survive this. Jeez. Oh shit. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Besides that one bit where I got one-shotted. Wasn't too bad. Hey mans. Nice for you to show up. Accomplish the task. Another one's sealed away. Oh, that sucks. Someone DC'd right at the end. I mean, that's well, fucking 7, really. I need all of it anyway. Makes a difference to me. All right, what do I win? Don't win. Look at that, 69. I have to win that one. It's the perfect number. Fuck. I'll probably win one of the helmets. Because gear's locked, so I can't only get one a week. Probably get one of the helmets or maybe the ring. One of the rings. I have some decent rolls. Alright, I'm good with that. So this is what the researchers conduct on creations imbued with poisons and venoms. Eric and I were conveyed not far from here, and it seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Even alone, you are a force to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious. That might observe you further. Aha, we've got a face to the La Brea. With the circumstances different, I might thank you for keeping my son alive for this long, but I believe you can forego introductions, unless I have misread you. La Brea. Not too familiar with Paragon. Am I supposed to know who you are? Let's go with this one. charming appellation, but I'm afraid I hold no such position. No, I am La Habrea of the Convocation of 14. If you truly are who you claim to be, then answer this question. That can wait. What is this? Now this is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts to ether, but you remain unaffected. Such thin ether, and an unfamiliar composition besides. Is of no matter. I suppose a more direct approach would get the same results. I would advise you to think carefully before deciding your next action. Strike me down here, and Eric's wish shall remain unfulfilled. Never again shall he meet Athena. Mother? You dare hide behind her name? Listen well, Eric. We are of the same mind concerning your mother. You have your allies for protection, so what harm is there in hearing me out? Eric, wait. There is a question that needs asked first. If you truly are La Habrea, why such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Say my name. A simple request. Themis, was it? A trifle soon forgotten, as you are. I have my answer. The La Habrea that I knew took pride in the convocation and would never suffer its oh wow, what's that word? Denigration? Yeah, denigration. You sully his station with this farce. Themis, what are you saying? La Habrea and I hardly saw eye to eye, but I know his voice when I hear it. Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and manner. However, the real La Habrea would never call me by the name Themis. What trouble have you gotten yourself into, Elpis? Alassian! Imposter. You have no right to claim that form, that mask. Oh, who's this guy? What? Who? 'Twas a mask that sickened me to wear. The mask of La Habrea, a man who values his position above all, who would burn his own wife in pursuit of duty. Yet you would pursue my name and wield powers that are mine by right. Any worth you may have hinges on that which you so despise. Such trite provocations. I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work's done. Eric, listen well. I am Hephaestus. Hephaestus? And it is I whom you should call father. What in the world? What in the name of creation? We would do well not to stand idle while our enemy is about. I believe an explanation is in order, Elpis. Let us return to safety so you may provide it. Oh, that sounds more like the La Habrea I know. Before departure, however, I must offer you an apology. As La Habrea said, I am Elpis, one of the convocation and emissary of their will. For reasons which do not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. Now it's fine. Had a feeling. Your perceptiveness does not surprise me. When the time comes, it shall be my explanation all the easier to understand. In any case, we have pressing matters to attend to. Let us do as La Habrea suggested and return to the gates. We can speak there. Alright. Please help him. Save him. Who's this? Ghosts? As you are aware by now, I am known as Elpis. After my dear friend Azim and I detected irregularities in Pandemonium, we decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. I'm sure La Habrea, as well, is eager to find out why I hid who I was, so I shall save that story for later. First, I would like to speak of you, my friend. Although neither Azim and I, nor I had ever met you in the flesh, you came with her highest recommendation. That alone was enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. That somewhere in the world a guiding star so similar to herself was out there amused Azim to no end. There was not a shade of doubt in her heart that you would be a formidable ally. Furthermore, I've heard stories that Mistress Vana, who had held position of Azim previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself. That made the decision to trust you all the easier. She too now dons the white robes of an advisor. She placed her absolute faith in you and knew I would be in capable hands. Aware though I was of the path you had walked, I had no interest in exposing you. I merely wanted to meet you, to travel by your side for a while. I may know a small portion of your whole story, but that is enough for me to believe that you had never led me astray. I wanted to tell you that. I want to see Azim. I mean, I guess we're the shard of Azim, where the fuck we are. But I kind of want to see who we look like, you know. So there's 4 bits of this. Because if I do the whole, if I stick with, let me put this on. If I stick with what I did last time, keeping all these parts and all these trials in one video, it's gonna be up to 2 hours long, and I don't want that. So what I'll probably do is I'll do one more, and then I'll do the last 2 in a separate video. So that seems reasonable. So Eric, what's up? I don't know how long it's been since we last spoke, La Habrea, and truth be told, I had hoped we would never meet again. Or we would never again, excuse me. But I see now that I was a fool to think that I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is that thing that called himself La Habrea? Why is he a spitting image of your younger self? Finding it hard to believe you've only just found out such a being was wreaking havoc in Pandemonium. Did you think matters would simply sort themselves out? I suppose you deserve at least a cursory explanation. I was well aware of the anomalies occurring within Pandemonium, including the fact that Azim and Elpis have taken it upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reason to insert myself into the situation. For a time, that was. Imagine my surprise when instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the keywords stating that research and operations were proceeding as usual. While I'm just gonna call him Hef. While Hef's deception was almost childish in its simplicity, it became plain to me that your grasp on the situation was slipping. So, you knew of his existence from the beginning? I can hardly imagine that you would suffer another masquerade as one of the convocation. Not without good reason, at least. As you all know, the name La Habrea is but a marker of my station. 'Tis not the name I was born with. Hef has claimed that for himself. I cannot fault him for it, as he is my other half in a manner of speaking. He knows all that I know, my equal in every way. Yet within his heart is not but greed, envy, and desire, all the emotions that we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? He is the product of experimentation gone awry, a reminder of the days when I was yet young and reckless. I thought him sealed away for good, but it seems time has a way of unearthing the shame we bury. When he spoke of my mother, he looked at you with venom in his eyes, blamed you for her death. Tell me, was he right to do so? His words were but the ramblings of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreparably. And now he has awakened, and he must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandemonium's protective wards, he shall invite disaster unto our star. As chief keyword of Pandemonium, it is my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facility destroyed. Oh, that's pretty... What? You will lead the other warders to their doom? 'Tis a choice befitting La Habrea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty and ours to guide our star and its inhabitants upon the correct course. It is no surprise that you would choose annihilation of Pandemonium if its existence posed even the remotest risk to our people. Yet, as you can see by Eric's response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Azim and I grappled with this conundrum for some time, in fact. That is precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. It was the only way I could truly determine the best solution. And you need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from occurring, no matter the cost. Your feelings, Elizabeth, are of no consequence. Have you taken even a moment to consider another path? No! You spared nary a thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You have no idea what the trials we've endured, the foes that Cecil has stood against. Cecil, is it? A being of such ether as I have never seen. What are you? She is the guiding star that shall lead us safely through this. Thanks to her stout arm and steadfast courage, we have subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion, Cecila. As outsiders, we are in a unique position to look upon circumstances with our vision unclouded by attachment. It's too soon to give up on saving the others. La Habrea can't be trusted! What was that you said about being an emissary? That wasn't him that said that, though. It's too soon to be saving the others. Agreed. We still know next to nothing about Hef, and I highly doubt La Habrea has been forthcoming with the truth. But we've managed to regain control of Asphodelos. He must be made to see that there is merit in continuing on this path. I have it. Speaking in your official capacity as Elpis the emissary, judge which approach is more sound, and even La Habrea would be compelled to listen. As Elpis, I am duty-bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion and esteem can carry no weight. You understand what this means, yes? I do. Even so, you've walked with us all this time, seen what we've seen. Based on that alone, I trust you'll find the best way forward. Do it, man. I believe in you. Very well. Then in my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present, there are merits both in destroying Pandemonium outright and taking time to rescue its researchers. Neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore, I judge that the most measured choice will be to continue upon our present course. We delve into Abyssos, interring any mythic creations. I keep wanting to say creatures, but it's creations we encounter along the way. Well, you have yet to witness Tesla's might and Eric's resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities firsthand, and only then decide if our endeavor is futile. If such is the will of the emissary, then I shall obey. However, if I find your strength to be lacking, I trust there are no objections to the immediate destruction of Pandemonium. You needn't worry about that. We won't fail. You are bolder than I remember. For the better, too. And you're more tedious than I remember. Cecila, come find me when you're finished. Eric is understandably frustrated, but if we are to conquer Abyssos, we must go forth with clear heads. Pray lend an ear to his troubles and that their weight might be lightened. Sure. Hey mans, I need you to snap out of it. Where the fuck did you go? He's way down there. He's taking a little walk. A little walk. Hey mans. You do have my gratitude, if ill-fit as I am to show it at the moment. Without your words to sway him, La Habrea would have carried out his plan without a second thought. When at first we realized the creations had slipped their bonds, the other keywords did under power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen escape, they remained to aid their allies. I'm certain not a soul among them would wish to see this facility erased from the world, and they don't deserve to be abandoned simply for carrying out their duty. And besides, half of it has secrets yet untold. Secrets that would be buried if Pandemonium were reduced to rubble. I mean to uncover the truth behind his words. The truth of my mother. While La Habrea was quick to dismiss his claims, I failed to see what Hef would gain from fabricating such a story. All I was told of my mother's death was that she perished in an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared something more, in fact. Even if it was not La Habrea that dealt the fatal blow, we've seen with our own eyes how quickly he can condemn others to die. I only wish to know at least what befell her. What do you think, Cecila? Does the La Habrea you know have any regard for lives for others? Or will he carry out his duty with another's blood on his hands? He was always a man who worked from the shadows. I mean, that's kind of true. He was once my ally as a vessel for his own twist. Wait. Oh. He's talking about, fucking Thancred. Right? That's what we're referring to, I think. He's a man who's worked from the shadows. Well, that in and of itself isn't reason for suspicion. He's one of the convocation who must forge the path of mankind. Naturally, not all of their activities are conducted within the public eye. But it is plain that there is much to consider. Thank you, Cecila. It's easy for me to get carried away by emotion where he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to La Habrea that we are capable of saving Pandemonium and its keepers. The most convincing way to do that will be to regain control of Abyssos. Sounds like a plan. Although I'm loath to admit it, he would know more about those depths than any of us. And seeing as how we require every advantage we can afford, got carried away, so I got distracted. Cecil, would you speak to him for us? He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities and may deign to help out your suggestion. If I want to see what you can do. Sure. Mans. Eric appears to have a deep trust in you, and Elpis tells me you share some relation to Azim. Your unusual ether does not mark you as a familiar. It is unlike anything I've seen, even among the countless concepts I've observed. To think that I would encounter an existence that I could not create by my own hand. Azim never ceases to surprise me. The previous Azim was much the same. And taking the entirety of the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions in people that a more logical mind would have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more often than not. Just as you and Elpis have conducted yourselves in this matter, the true danger of Azim's nature is its tendency to infect all those she comes into contact with. MXL said much the same. Trust I shall do not that would violate my duty. Yet you so frivolously invoked your authority as an emissary to justify this little excursion. It matters little, however. Only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more of Abyssos, I take it. Although I no longer have control over many of its functions, I can yet sense what creations lie within. The chief keywords reaches far indeed. Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creations of no. Perhaps they have been made into fodder for experimentation, or perhaps they've been transferred to the deeper circles. Yet Hef would never allow you safe passage. He has left a trial for you to overcome. I speak of Hegemon, keyword of Abyssos, although her presence is stained with marks of corruption and is unmistakable. I knew her as a woman gifted in magic and blessed with a highly logical mind. While I can sense those qualities within her still, there is something else at work. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that she's also been twisted into a Hemethos, doubtless her against her will. Hemethos. Cecila, Themis, we must rescue her from that cruel fate. And if we cannot, we can at least steal her away until we find a means to undo the damage. Your allies make you bold, Eric. I very much look forward to seeing how they carry you. Little hostility in the air. All right, the sixth circle. Great. All right, round two. Don't know what we're dealing with now. All I ever saw was that carbuncle in the live letters and stuff and the patch notes. So I have no idea what's coming up next. Now back to what I was doing. Yeah, I think I might just split this up into different parts. Well, never mind. Fuck. How did I do before this? How did I do in the Shadowbringers and the other expansions? Looks like I had it all in one video. Really? Well, I mean, I had Omega shit. Well, that was 4 different things though. I don't know. All right, lady, tentacle woman, I'm gonna fight you. Oh. All right. Business is my charge. I shall not shirk my duty. He's swept away in the flood of ether. Rock from the inside out. What is this? Oh, it's like a bomb. Oh, we gotta turn away. Okay. Waste away! What are you gonna do? Oh shit! I'm dancing! This again, huh? Oh shit. Can't measure against the keyboard. I'm doing pretty well so far, I would think. Oh. Oh, it's gonna swap, so that one. Right? No. Rip. Oh jeez. Okay. I have no idea where I'm going to go. I'm gonna sit here. No! Oh boy, that's tricky. I don't know where to go. Oh god, what is this? Oh, oh fuck, it's rotating. Alright. Alright, this bitch can do this little AoE bullshit. Oh, like right there. So I need to go that way. Die! That wasn't too bad. Alright! Mission accomplished. Poor lady she got banished to the dungeon. Wouldn't want to be in these dungeons, that's for sure. Alright, what do we got here? I got the ring. I'm satisfied with the ring. That's one accessory. I'm out of here. That's one new piece of equipment I can have for my my tanks. We've won! The keyword is sealed and alive this time. La Brea can't deny us now. Alright. This is a good place to stop. So, when we come back, we will take on the last two circles and wrap up the raid set for this patch. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next part. Later.